Facebook marketing is like building a house. You need a strong foundation. You need a title to a property, a strong foundation. Those are your website in the digital world. It's your website and your email list.
Right.
All roads lead to those two assets or properties. No one can take them away from you, assuming you're paying your taxes or assuming you're paying your hosting bill and subscription fee to Constant Contact or whatever you use. As you start to build your house, you need tools to build that beautiful, lovely house that you want. And those tools include hammers, saws, screwdrivers when you're building your house.
Stuff like that.
In the digital world, the tools...
And those are in your toolbox.
In your toolbox. Right. The toolbox that we use in the Facebook world includes media, live media, paid promotion, media promotion, which includes organic and paid promotion, and then finally automation. And automation is what we're going to be talking about today. The automation in particular is chatbots. So I wanted to give twice now the analogy of building a house, but I wanted to emphasize that all of these are just tools. Not any single one of these tactics is the end all be all or end game of what we're trying to accomplish. What we're trying to accomplish is grow our business, earn more customers, make more money.
Right.
These are just tools to accomplish those means. So I want to go through a slideshow real quick. I'm going to put up a couple screens and hopefully you'll be able to hear us as we're talking. Let me turn music down even further.
There we go.
There we go. So the concept of chatbots. What is a chatbot and why should you use a chatbot? I had a very interesting conversation this morning with a lady in Oregon, Barb Tomlin, and there's some people that are not very fond of chatbots, both as consumers or users and people that are producing them or prosuming them. Prosumers. You ever heard that term?
Prosumers? No, I haven't, but that makes sense.
So people producing chatbots. And she brought out some very good points. And the conclusion is this. You can't fit a round square peg in a round hole. If you're deploying a chatbot for the sake of deploying a chatbot, you're going to fail and you probably will do more harm than good.
Yeah.
So you need a strategy. At the end of the day, the most important thing to understand about deploying a chatbot is you must give value to the people that you're connected with, to the people that you're following, to the people that you're trying to capture. If you're not giving value, you're going to fail. And a value can be any number of things. It could be a contest. It could be a giveaway. It could be giving away a PDF or an ebook, some subject matter of which you're an expert of.
A coupon for your business, possibly.
A coupon. But you're giving value. We can go on and on and on talking about what types of value you can give away. But at the end of the day, you need to be giving value. That's the first step. Second step is capturing value in return. So you have an asset, something that people are interested in. Capturing value in return. That is building these chatbots to make sure that you're capturing information back from that consumer that's relevant, that's going to help you help them. As an example, if someone's shopping for cars and they come across a chatbot at a dealership and they like red cars in particular, you can ask that question. You can capture that data point. Then moving forward, you can only give them information about red cars, not pink pickup trucks.
Right.
So that's another...
So you put their data into this bucket and now you can reuse that again.
And I understand we may be talking a little bit esoterically right now, but we wanted to give a conceptual idea of how this works before we take a dive into some of the screens, part of the demo and the training. Second is build stronger relationships. By giving value and capturing value, what you're doing is a give and take. It's the same thing you do in real life. You go to an event, you walk in a room, you shake each other's hands, you pass out business cards, you say, I do this, what do you do? Or what do you do? And then when they're done, you explain what.
And you're establishing relationships with that individual.
Correct. So you're learning more about them, and likewise, they are learning more about you.
Right.
The fourth bullet point here is I can conclusively say with the chatbots that we've deployed, you can grow your list 10 times faster at the very least.
I would say at a cost-effective level, too.
Yeah.
Majorly.
I asked this question of Randy Bishop this morning on the radio. I asked him, how quickly do you... what's the rate of new subscribers on your website, your newsletter list? He said 2 or 3 a week. And I said, great. I have conclusive proof right here. We can do 20 in one day.
Right.
So you can grow your list much faster. And then finally, integrations. Chatbots right now are in their infantile stage. They're starting to mature. But the integrations that allow you to connect chatbots to third-party services such as QuickBooks, such as e-commerce stores, such as payment gateways, could be anything, to your CRM. The integrations are there. You just need a smart mind with people that understand how to program to build this stuff for you. So next slide is, what are the chatbot services or tools you can use to make your life easier. I just listed 5 of them here that I'm familiar with. I've tested 4 of these. I put in green the one that we recommend for you and anyone else. So the 5 that I'm aware of are ManyChat, Chatfuel, Botsify, Chatty People, and Chatmatic. Most people out there have heard of ManyChat. That's the most popular one. There are some serious disadvantages to ManyChat. Go ahead.
No, wouldn't you say that each of these programs also have pros and cons?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you should shop around and check out each of these programs if you're going to use a chatbot to find out which one would work the best for your particular situation.
If you have the time. Or you can just take our word for it and go straight to Chatfuel.
Chatfuel does a lot of stuff.
Yeah. On the next screen, I'm going to describe why we recommend Chatfuel. So right here, ManyChat's the most popular. Anyone watching now or later will probably say, well, yeah, I played around with ManyChat, but there are some serious limitations and disadvantages to ManyChat. We highly recommend Chatfuel. Why do we recommend Chatfuel? And here are the reasons why. Chatfuel has built-in AI tools. We're going to go over that here in a minute. It has comment capture, which isn't necessarily new or revolutionary. Most of the previously mentioned ones do have comment capture. Incidentally, as a test right now, I'm going to put our ugly mugs up for a minute. We do have a chatbot hooked up to this video.
Push the button, old man.
There we go.
All right.
We're going to go back to the slide in a minute. But to see the chatbot in action with a live video, type the word guide as a comment in this video. G-U-I-D-E. Doesn't matter. Lowercase, uppercase, big G. Doesn't matter. Type the word guide. And by typing the word guide, you're going to be presented with or sent a Facebook Messenger message that is going to ask you if you want to download the 3V Facebook Live Users Guide 2016 version.
So the word guide is the trigger.
Yes.
That triggers the chatbot to start the scenario to you.
Correct. So once again, the word guide as a comment in this live video will trigger a Facebook bot that will present to you the option to download the 3V Facebook Live Users Guide. So let's go back and finish this list real quick. So comment capture, by typing the word guide right now, you will see the comment capture in action. Next, e-commerce support. Right now, Chatfuel, as I understand it, is the only one that offers e-commerce support. We're going to show you that. We have about 15 minutes, I guess, to complete our demonstration, and hopefully we'll get through everything. Next is built-in integrations. There are pre-built integrations within Chatfuel.
I must say there's quite a few, too.
And then there's custom integration or API support. And I want to put some fine print in with the custom integrations. Right now, it's a little bit tricky, and you're going to need a pretty strong, solid mind to be able to pull off some of the custom integrations. But as the technology evolves, they're going to become more robust and easier to work with.
Okay, great.
So a lot of heavy lifting is required right now. So we're going to switch back to Bill and I, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take you on a tour of Chatfuel.
Right.
And we're going to show off some of the bells and whistles. If you're watching right now, what I recommend either now or later, just go to Chatfuel. You can create your account by logging in with Facebook. By doing so, one of the advantages that you have is you can share accounts between users.
Yes, you can. Works out pretty easily.
It really does. So once you logged into Chatfuel will give you the ability or capability to build bots and then attach those bots to one or many Facebook pages. And then anyone that's an administrator of those Facebook pages can be given access to that bot, and then you can work on this in a collaborative environment.
And you can duplicate those too, so it's not like you have to rewrite the whole thing every time. You can duplicate it and then make some modifications, and you're good to go.
That's a great point, because in the case of the political world, you can build out a whole bot for one candidate or one elected official and then duplicate that bot and then transfer that duplicate over to a new candidate or elected official with some minor tweaks. Obviously, the branding and the name changes and all that. So these...
And where, the website and recontacts. And depends on what you want to do with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn on the display and we're going to go for a ride. And you're going to see a lot of craziness till we get to where we want to get. And let me open this in its own little window.
We are now all in Mike's crazy clown car.
There we go. And I have only 2 tabs open, and we're going to go for a ride. And I'm going to show or demonstrate.
Mark that on your calendar. Mike only has 2 tabs open.
Yeah, well, 2 tabs, but you haven't seen the other 3 windows.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to go to Steve's Kitchen.
Right. So Steve's Kitchen with Steve Sloan.
Yes, it is. So this is an example for food service or restaurants. This is one of our better performing chatbots, and the reason it performs well is because, as we mentioned earlier, per Barb Tomlin's advice, is Steve has a rabid fan base. People that like and follow Steve love to follow Steve.
Right.
So every time he's on a live video,
They will follow him.
they show up in herds. So right here, what we have is a chatbot set up, coming up, and we deploy this for recipes as he does his videos and or live videos. The most popular one, or the one we did last Thursday, was a scampi recipe, and it's right here.
The shrimp scampi, yeah.
No, that's the red snapper. Sorry.
That's it, right? Oh, that's the
Where did I
still
see
of it anyway.
Here it is, scampi.
All right.
So here's the scampi post right here. This is a video in which Steve cooks scampi. You can certainly tune in and watch how he cooks this dish. It actually looks pretty amazing.
And you can see what his organic versus paid is on there, and it's looking pretty good.
So,
And Mike pushes the wrong button.
The wrong button. So, watching this in action, there's a description on the post itself right here. It says, type scampi below for the recipe. So, we're giving the recipe away for anyone that types scampi. And if you look through all of the comments, you'll see we captured, I think, 14 or 15 people that type scampi. So Lisa Benedict right here, Colleen Fitzpatrick.
So as long as that word is somewhere in the comment, you
Correct.
can write a whole sentence and the word scampi is in there, it's going to trigger the engine.
Yes. So then what happens is it creates this conversation in the user's inbox. So here are all the inbound people that were asking for the recipe, and you can scroll through this list and see all of the people that downloaded the recipe.
And Mike, correct me if I'm right, but this can only be used on a page. Is that correct? Not
Correct.
a personal
Yeah,
page?
a
or
page. Nowhere
a
else.
business page.
Yes, a business page.
All right.
So all of these people received the
recipe.
And let me show you how it works in action. I am going to go to see all in Messenger, yet another window. I don't want to lose my place.
Yes.
So if I search for Steve's Kitchen, there we go. And here's my ongoing conversation with Steve's Kitchen right here.
Right. So show an example where someone typed scampi and then
Well,
how it walks you through how the bot.
I can type right here. I can type recipe,
Right.
or see, typing.
And that the little worm that goes up and down, that's programmed in as part of the Chatfuel bot.
Correct, to make it look like someone's actually typing with you.
Right.
Then before they get the recipe, we're actually asking a pre-sales question here. Steve is going to be producing barbecue rubs and sauces, so we're asking them a question. Would you be interested in the rub, the sauce, both, or neither? And they can answer that, and then upon answering that, we get the little typing symbol.
And we found through trial that it's better to put something in and you just push a button.
Yep.
Don't have to type in nothing. Just push the button is the best way to do it.
And then we click download recipe in a separate window. Bam! You're giving value to people and capturing value back in return. So now on the back end, I'd like to show you what's going on in Chatfuel and how this looks in the Chatfuel interface. This is hugely important. We're going to start to get into Steve's Kitchen says barbecue rubs. All right, so we're going to go to the Steve's Kitchen chatbot.
Right.
And I'm going to show a couple little bells and whistles here. So when someone lands in Steve's chatbot, I'm capturing a user attribute. This is essentially just a data point in the database.
Okay.
Steve's Kitchen. You can have as many or as few data points as you want. This is extremely important. We gave the analogy earlier, talking about red cars and pink pickup trucks, right? So anytime you ask a question or anytime someone hits a screen, you can capture that data point and you're capturing value back from the consumer. And then when we go to the shrimp scampi portion here, what we're doing is asking the question, and then this is what it's called a quick reply. So the buttons that we saw a minute ago for barbecue rub, barbecue sauce, both or neither.
And this is where you would create them in the quick reply.
Yes, we're capturing that value in a field called BBQ-update.
Okay.
I'm going to show you the value of that here,
Okay.
here in a minute.
And what is that? A field?
It's called a quick reply field.
Okay.
And then we show typing for 1.6 seconds, and then we present the screen where people can download the recipe. So I'd like to show the value real quick before we get into a few more of the bells and whistles of capturing that data point. So we come over here to broadcast. And now when Steve actually has the product in his store and he's ready to start selling or he's ready to start shipping, we can send a broadcast message to...
And now we're selecting our audience that we're going to send it to.
Correct. We're going to use a filter here. And anyone that selected barbecue update, rub, add filter.
And does it tell us how many people are in that bucket?
Yep.
Okay.
We had 0 for rub, 0 for sauce, 3 for neither, 2 for users, and 4 not set.
Okay.
So in here we're going to do
rub, right?
Rub sauces. Yeah, that's it. That's all we have. And we can select done. And now what we can do is send a message by going down here and creating the content. So right in here, we can create the content and send an outbound message to those people that answered the question about barbecue rub sauces, both or neither. Send them a message later on and say, hey, we got our products in store. Are you interested in purchasing?
So this is a follow-up so that you can keep your customer engaged.
Yes. You see a Zapier screen here. Anyone watching now or later that's familiar with Zapier knows Zapier is an easy to work with tool to connect APIs or connect systems that can talk to each other. We're not going to get that far into the weeds. We want to talk about what are all of these features down here and the different types of media that you can use and how to sell. So we're going to give that as an example right now. In the 3V funnel, here, let us go to what it looks like on the front end. I'm going to go to 3V Business Solutions. And I'm going to show you how it works. We're going to press the message button here. Or on any post, we've yet to really disseminate it beyond this video. On any post, any comment, someone can type the word cards, C-A-R-D-S, and they can order 250 business cards for 25 bucks.
All right.
So I click message here. And this is the actual prompt. I've already gone through this.
This is your testing
yes,
as you're doing testing.
as I'm doing testing. So here's the original message I got from Facebook. Welcome to 3V. Today's featured promotion is 250 business cards for 25 bucks. Includes free shipping. Or you may also download the 3V Live Users Guide by clicking the button below. So we're going to select Get Business Cards. Now 3V is typing back to us. And
here's our reply.
Before I press this button, I want more fine print here. The payment gateway that Chatfuel hooks up with is Stripe. So the fine print here is number one. If you want to sell direct on Facebook through Messenger, through a chatbot, you need to have a Stripe account.
Stripe. So that's S-T, spell it.
S-T-R-I-P-E. Stripe.
So it's a regular spell.
Yes.
Okay.
Stripe.com. I've created a couple, 3 Stripe accounts for people. It's very simple. You will need, however, an EIN. You'll need to be a business. So you'll need an EIN or an employee identification number for tax purposes. Unless you have that, if you don't have that, it will not work. If you do have that,
can
it
you
will
use a
work.
social security number?
No.
Okay.
It requires the last 4 of your social and an EIN.
All right.
If you don't have an EIN and you're not a business or an LLC or a corporation, then reach out to someone that can create a separate account for you
I was going to
and
say
run it under there.
It's really simple to get an EIN through IRS.
Yes.
Very simple.
All right.
You do it all online, and it'll give it to you right online.
Yep. Second fine print or disclaimer is this is, I'm going to call it in development right now. So the Stripe, Chatfuel, Facebook Messenger features are currently in development. There are some bugs, and we caught one of the bugs late last night and today. So when I click this button, what's going to happen? Nothing. Here's the bug. It's not doing anything. So this is the problem or the bug that I've reported to Stripe. And the Stripe support team is working directly with us because we do have 2 or 3 of these bots, 2 bots deployed right now, a third one coming shortly where we are selling merchandise.
Okay.
So obviously if you're saying you're selling something and you get to the screen and you're locked up, you get a lot of complaints. and I've seen that today.
Right, and of course you don't want your customer walking away. So is there any way you can follow up with them?
Yes, we're using great question, Bill. Using the broadcast tool here, when the bug is fixed for the one person in particular that we deployed this bot, and we're selling coffee mugs in this case, and we actually have about 12 people that tried to purchase today.
Okay.
10 of those people had problems. What you can do is use the broadcast tool. In this case, once the problem is fixed, the bug is fixed, send a message, say, hey, okay, it's time to purchase. Click here.
So you can notify your customers that everything's been fixed.
Yeah, using the broadcast tool. So very powerful in that regard. So right now, here's the bug right here. It's a problem between Chatfuel and Stripe at the moment. So there's very little that you, I, or anyone else can do that's not on the Stripe team to fix the problem.
But
so,
Stripe is aware of it, so they're working on it.
Yeah, they're smart people.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of smart programmers.
Okay.
Lastly, I wanted to go through some of these additional tools when you're in Chatfuel. We've only scratched the surface as to what's behind the scenes here. And we're going to have to do many, many other episodes. But this is the beginnings.
Yeah.
This is the beginnings of a larger conversation, training, demonstrations, and tutorials about how to use Chatfuel. So when you get to this screen right here, which is in the Build tab, you can categorize your chatbots or funnels, as we like to call them, into groups and then build them out accordingly. Building these is akin to writing out a flowchart on a whiteboard.
All right.
So we always recommend people start with a flowchart, pull out a whiteboard or a piece of paper, draw your block diagrams, and understand the flow of what you're trying to do.
And you might want to do that first before you even come in here, because you can write up like the verbiage that you're going to put on each one of these little screens that you see.
Correct. Absolutely correct.
I must say, I've never run it. Chatfuel doesn't time out on you, does it? Have you ever run into that?
I've never ran into that problem. So as you're developing your content, you have the option to put in buttons, and then these are like directive blocks where you can direct people. If they press this button here, get business cards, we're going to take them to the business cards block, which is,
and it's identified, so it's the next
right
chain,
there.
The next chain within the block diagram.
There's where the screen shows up.
Right.
So right here, this is a purchase. This is an example of how to purchase, and by clicking the buy button, you get this screen that opens up, and it's pretty simple. You just have to fill in the blanks here. You do have to connect your Stripe account to your Chatfuel account. Which I have done. We're not going to do that today because it's a little bit time consuming, and you need to actually have the screens open to do it.
Okay.
But I wanted to give this as an example of purchasing. So coming back here are all of the other different types of content types that you can put in a chatbot. You can put simple text. You can put a gallery of images. You can put one single image. You can put a list of items with photos. So this is what a list looks like. So it's a vertically scrolling list of images and text with buttons. So examples of why you might want to use this is, I can think of Tommy Hilfiger. I went through their chatbot. So they have quite a few of these where they're showing off a product.
So many different products.
Yeah, variations of the products. Okay. Red sweater, green sweater, blue sweater, black sweater, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to delete that.
And I know, like, if you go to gallery, I know that you can put up a picture, and then you can have a description of the picture underneath it, and then a button also that takes you somewhere else.
Quick reply is a little bit complex. I'm just going to show it off here. What it is you can put a series of buttons across horizontally and ask people options.
Is there a limit?
I've done 5 thus far. I don't think there's a limit. My only recommendation is you don't do too many, because people have on a phone, on a tiny phone, they have to scroll left and right.
Yes, true.
And it can get a little bit cumbersome.
So maybe keep it down around 4 or 5.
Then. Yeah. So this is a button that directs people to a point in your funnel. Once again, going back to the block diagram and your flow chart, they can enter the option, and then you capture that user attribute right there, and then you can direct them to a separate block. So if you look over here on the left, I have our Coney Island.
Oh, yeah.
Our Coney Island. So within this bot right here, what I have are questions for people in Florida. What types of Michigan or Detroit brands do you like?
Okay.
And I ask a quick reply: Coney Islands, Verner's, Faygo, Saunders, or others.
So there you're doing a survey.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, I'm doing a survey. When they press this quick reply button across, I'm capturing whatever they press for that button, and then I'm directing them to a separate place.
And you're also connecting, or I should say collecting their information to, right?
Yes.
Within Facebook.
Yes, you are. All right. Lastly, for today, we've went 6 minutes over what we hope was our limit.
This is the plugins.
Yeah. So you hit this little plus button here, and if you go back to the screen at the beginning when we said why Chatfuel, this is why. Chatfuel is the only one I know that has all of these integrations built in.
And then also you see Zapier on there, and that connects with a whole bunch of different things too. So it really has a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's some limitations. There's bugs you need to work through. But the fact of the matter is Chatfuel is the only one with all of this additional functionality right now.
I know one of the things I like, Mike, in Chatfuel is that depending on what button certain people click on, you can add the send email feature in there so that you can have somebody who's delegated to respond, get an email so that they know they've received something, and then they respond to it. It's not everything has to run through one individual. You can delegate.
Yes.
You can delegate things out to different people.
Yes,
and I like that.
So two things come to mind as you mentioned that, and the two features that you would use in that case are user input and send email.
Yeah.
So let's run through these. You want to run through these real quick?
If you want, if we have time.
All right. So we're going to do the Yacht Club example.
Yeah, we can do that.
That has a form, right?
A form?
Yeah.
Well, it has some questions. Right now, the only one I only have one thing running right now.
Okay. So membership info.
Yeah.
There we go. So user input. What we've done here is this is a great example. Thanks, Bill. Good thing we thought of it. So right here, we use the user input, which essentially puts a field in the chatbot.
And there it is.
In this case, there it is right there. A message to user. There's really not much going on here.
No. And we're gathering a little information. But you can add additional fields here, like email address. Validation is email required. You can add another field. What is your favorite sport? I'm just making stuff up, and this has no validation is required. So I'm going to delete these before we create. Yeah, and there's another thing too, is that Chatfuel automatically saves. So if you get cut off somewhere, it's going to save it for you. You don't worry about, I had to walk away and then my computer crashed or the battery went dead. It saved it for you.
And here is the powerful part, and I see
that one too.
Yeah. Oh, so we lost quite a bit of our audience as we went from 10 to now 3 or 4 people, and it's going up or down. But here is the lead gen or lead capture part of it. So of all the questions that you've asked, of all of the information that you're entitled to natively through Facebook, you can send out an outbound lead gen email. And here's what that inbound, in your email box, what that inbound lead gen form looks like.
It's pretty simple.
Ford Yacht Club. There we go. Here's an inquiry.
All right, so at the top, it says no reply. All right, so you're going to see that because you don't reply because it's an automated response. And this is the information that you're going to get.
In this case, we did not capture or ask for email address for the simple fact that this is being used as an indicator or a signal for someone in the office that an inbound lead occurs, and it should trigger them to go out to Facebook Messenger and continue the conversation with that member.
Right, so this notifies a specific person that handles, in this particular case, you can see membership inquiry, and then they will follow up with that individual. So we're not asking for an email. And the way they get back to them is the way that they contacted us, and that is through Facebook.
Here's one.
Coney Island, and you're asking more questions here.
Yeah. So in this, here's an example here of. Let's see if I have a real one off the street. No, these were all tests done by me.
Well, you just use one because this is just an example.
We used the most current one.
All right.
That's me testing again. Blah. Anytime you see blah, Mike's testing. All right. So here's an example of an inbound lead from the 3V Coney Island chatbot funnel. In that funnel, we ask the question, what is your email address? We capture it, and then I send it to myself via email as a lead. So you can indeed ask the question email. You can indeed ask the question, what's your phone number? You can ask anything you want, capture that data point, and then put it, configure it in an email, just like we've done here. and send that outbound email to anyone you want within your organization. Very powerful. Lastly, I wanted to just throw this out there for any geeks or tech freaks like me that are out there, is they have this JSON API feature here. So this is the tool or feature that allows you to communicate with a third-party server and send and receive information.
Oh.
So this is the tool that allows you to do custom integration with any third-party system you want.
Okay.
Insightly, Constant Contact, Salesforce, MailChimp, QuickBooks,
All right.
Twitter, YouTube, any
that's a CRM right there.
Any
Or a database.
service.
A service, right.
any service.
So if you want to get contacts in and you want to build your mailing list, you want to say go to MailChimp, this is where you would do that.
Yes, but you need right now you need a programmer to be able to build a module on a web server somewhere that will connect the two. So the web server in the middle serves as a bridge. So in reality, what's happening, and conceptually what's happening is you're capturing the data in Chatfuel. You're sending it to that intermediate server in the middle. Mm-hmm. That server in the middle is preparing the data, and then it's connecting to the other server, the destination server, whether it's Insightly, QuickBooks, MailChimp, Constant Contact, Salesforce, and it's sending that data there. So here's a new contact, first name, last name, email, phone number.
Okay.
Go. So right now that needs to be done programmatically, and you would need a fairly skilled, very skilled programmer to be able to pull that off.
Okay.
My recommendation is someone younger. Seriously. I mean, they're
younger than who?
Younger than I.
Oh.
So I know enough in the SaaS world to be dangerous. I do a lot of SaaS programming, but it's not second nature to me. Mm-hmm. So you get a kid under 30 that had got out of the college in the last 5 or 10 years. They actually teach that now.
Okay.
So part of this person's skill set is SaaS or service-based programming.
Okay.
And it makes it a lot easier. You'll save time and money that way.
All right.
So lastly, I'd like to just summarize or review the advantages and disadvantages of chatbots, when to use them and when not to use them.
Okay.
Advantages are, as we mentioned at the very beginning,
let's see that slide.
Why chatbots?
Right.
Why do you use chatbots? Here's why.
Let's review.
Give value. First and foremost, you got to be giving value to your customers or consumers that are visiting you or following you.
Right.
Second of all, capturing value. Why you use a chatbot is to capture value in return.
Mm-hmm.
Capturing names, capturing phone numbers, capturing email addresses, capturing
all sorts of stuff.
All sorts of stuff. Building stronger relationships with people. You use it to grow your list 10 times, if not more, faster than you would any other way. And finally, integrations, integrating data captured out of Facebook into third-party systems. So those are reasons why you would want to use.
Right, and a lot of this, and this is a lot, it's automated. So if somebody contacts you at 3 a.m., you don't have to have somebody sitting there, looking at the monitor. It's doing it all automated. You get up in the morning, here's this big list. You go inside and manage it. Respond back.
Why you wouldn't want to use, or why you don't use a chatbot, is to spam people. At the top of the list is spamming people.
Right.
If you don't have a strategy or an end game in mind when you're building a chatbot, it's not worth your time. You probably will end up doing more damage.
Yeah, don't go out and carpet bomb a whole load of people, because it is not going to be good.
Correct.
It's not good for you. It's not good for your brand.
Use the broadcast tool selectively and strategically. And when you capture people, pay attention to them. And the tree dialer, the phone tree dialer is another thing that we like to describe or talk about, is when you're building your chatbots, don't ask too many questions.
Right.
What do we like to say? It's
four.
like
Don't go over 4 levels.
4 levels?
3 or 4. I wouldn't go more than 4.
It's like calling Verizon or T-Mobile or AT&T or whoever it is you're calling, and you got to press 1 and press 4 and press 5 and press 7.
Yeah.
And ultimately, by the time you get someone on the phone, you're really upset.
I mean, everybody can think of the worst case scenario where you've gotten into a phone tree and then you get like stuck in a loop, and you really want to just like keep hitting one. Give me a human, please. Just give me a human.
Yep.
And you don't want to become that place.
All right, so real quick, let's talk about the types of people that we recommend would be using these. So let's start with clubs, organizations, networks.
Oh, yes, definitely.
With a tight-knit group of people that know each other. A network.
Right, because people are always leaving for some reason. Whatever it is. They're moving, they're passing away, whatever the reason. So that means you have to actively always be going out to bring in new people. Mm-hmm. And then you also have to engage the people who are there.
Correct. In Bill's case, it's a yacht club. It's
Right.
proven to be highly effective in a yacht club environment. Everyone has the common interest of boats and water.
Right.
You can talk about a conversation, build stronger relationships. This would be extremely powerful or strong for business associations,
Right.
chambers of commerce, so on and so forth, to keep people engaged. Think about it. You send out an email newsletter. How many people open it?
Right.
Industry average is 22 to 25%. Well, great. You're going to get 80 to 100% using these tools.
Oh yeah. I mean, think about it. If you use MailChimp or something like that, it gives you some analytics coming back that will tell you if people opened up what you sent them out. And we all know that it's usually, if you're hitting 30%, you're doing great. I mean.
Yep.
Yeah.
Other industries, niches, or verticals they can use it. Restaurants. It's proven to work. The reason why it works in restaurants or food service is food. A, food is sexy, and B, everyone needs to eat
Everybody
every
needs
day.
to eat, and they can change up their menus all the time, and you can just log in and keep current on it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Other areas we found it to work well is for pre-sales.
Mm-hmm.
So you're launching a product and you can start capturing information. You can do surveys. You can do questionnaires. So if you have a new product line that you're going to be selling in your brick and mortar,
Right.
and you want to get people, you want to get some engagement, get some exposure, let people know you have a new product coming, you can use this tool to do.
Or like voice of the consumer type of thing. You can
Correct.
find out what your customers want. I mean, think about how many companies have come out with products. They think that they're just going to be great, and they hit the market and they just fail terribly because there's no demand for that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's interested.
Mm-hmm. Anyone that does a lot of events, this would be extremely powerful for people that do events to be able to send, give value
Right.
about the event that's upcoming, and then capture value back in return and actually do ticket sales or promote that event. There's many other. We do it for, as you said earlier, surveys and questionnaires. So
Yeah.
we have a bunch of paid advertising going on in Florida right now because we want to know how interested are people on the sun coast of Florida. How interested are they in someone delivering to them authentic Detroit Coney Island dogs,
Right.
Vernors, Fago, and Saunders.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people from up here that move down there.
Correct. And then there's many other scenarios. Real estate is very powerful in real estate. So anyone that's doing a calculate your home value, a lead capture form, or giving away tips,
Right.
5 home buyer tips, 10 home seller tips, anyone that's giving away an asset, disseminating any kind of electronic brochure or otherwise, this is a great tool to deliver that mechanism and then delivering that value of
Right.
the electronic brochure and then capturing value back in return as a lead, qualified lead.
Okay.
And that's it, I believe.
All right, I think so. So if anybody has any questions, of course, you can always write them down in the comments, and we'll get back in touch with you as soon as we can.
Great. And this was a great session. I can't wait to chop it up and listen to the first 2 or 3 minutes when the music was stomping all over our voices.
Yeah, maybe you can work that out, and we'll
Yeah.
just start it at the when it's down.
Cool. Everyone have a great day, and we'll see you next time. If you have
Right.
any questions at all about chatbots, Facebook automation, Facebook media, including live video,
Right.
and Facebook paid advertising,
And
let us know.
Right, and that's the direction it's going in. So
All of these work together. Once
Right.
again, these are all the 3 previously mentioned things are all tools
tools in your toolbox.
to help build your house.
Right.
And that's what we want to help you do, build
Right.
your house.
And you want a nice house.
Yes.
All right.
Have a great day,
Talk
everyone.
to you later, everybody.
Bye now.